competition.
They will be the champions for 2020, 2019. Congratulations to our champion, John 23rd College.
We are go. Round 21 final. Nickler with a shocking start again. Corey Vincent, your KZ2 final winner.
Off the start away, it looks like 7-3. Got a good one up Daniel. Second play. He's going to take it, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on him, right up behind him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake. But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
Welcome back to our Four Style Media live stream of round 2 of the Smarter Than Smoking 2021 Senior State Motocross Championship. The Brutum Logistics MX ATVs are out on a sighting lap. We have had some minor track prep while we were having our lunch break, so massive thank you to our volunteers. It's a gorgeous, clear and sunny Mother's Day here at Wanneroo Raceway, and AJS odds on takes honours for the prettiest motocross track here in WA. It's right up there. Currently sitting at about 21 degrees under some mild overcast conditions. I'm joined up here in commentary by Daniel Pajewski. Dan, it's been an interesting day out here. Run me through how your first moto went, how you're feeling about your upcoming race.
We started pretty slow. I got squashed off by Paul Hummerson in the inside. Ended up getting about 25th out the first corner. Knew it set me up for a really, really hard race. And around lap 6, the goggles failed on me. But we still managed to get a 4th place, which I'm pretty happy about. Round 2, the track's looking really rough already. no doubt it's going to be a struggle out there.
It's going to be a struggle, not just for you, but for absolutely everybody on a bike out there. Tell me, how many laps do you think you've cut here at AJS? Is it up there on your track time count?
Yeah, I'd say in the last 2 or 3 months, I've probably put 100 to 150 laps out year. Me and Dad always spending a few mornings during the week. During the practice, it's nowhere near this rough, but I must say the track crew have done a really good day today.
Tell me, having gotten out there, ridden the track yourself, is there a particular sector out here that's particularly tough or tricky?
After the long right sweep in the far corner, from that tabletop onwards, it's grueling for the next 30 seconds, and then from then on you get a little rest, and then it starts again.
Run me through how your season's sort of shaping up for you so far.
We had a really good start. I wasn't going to race this year, but Dad talked me into it. He gave me a lot of support. Manchester City finally managed to get me a bike. We had a really good day at Manchester. We got 1-1, which was really, really good. And today we're the 4th in the first heat, hoping to do better in the second heat.
Oh, we're looking forward to it, mate. How's the season sort of shaping up for you and your sponsor? You've got a bunch of people around you, haven't you?
We obviously wasn't going to race this year, but after Dad arranged a few things, he got Manchester City on board, Pirelli on board, Trolley Designs always give him good gear. And again, just my parents, they put a lot of effort into my racing, and I wouldn't be there without them.
Who are you looking forward to going bar to bar with out there for your next moto?
Well, it's going to be Brock Flynn. He's riding really good. Typical juniors coming up. Conan Forrester and Cody Chittick are riding really good too. So no doubt they'll be there. And obviously there's always someone surprising you every race.
Yeah, Conan Forrester, he led really hard early on in the piece on the number 3, and it'll be interesting to see how he does shape up in this next moto. Tell me, have you had much time running next to him?
Yeah, we've battled for the last 2 years. He's a tough competitor, very clean rider though. I love going bar to bar with him, and all the other riders, they're doing a great job on this tough track.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing how you go in your next moto, mate. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you very much.
We are just about ready to put them in the hands of the starter for your Moto 2 for the Brutum Logistics MX ATVs. Welcome if you are watching on our 4Style Media live stream. I have to say a huge thank you to Bayless Electrical Group, TVR, Cully's Yamaha, and of course, 4Style Media. Do us a massive favour and share your live stream around. The more eyes we have on our live stream, the more likely it is that we're going to be able to keep this going from round to round. Some last minute water going down on the starting area just to try and preserve this gate. As we raise the green flag, we are in the hands of the starter, ladies and gentlemen. We saw multi-Australian champion Christopher Bosnakis run away with the race in the first moto. Has he got what it takes to do it a second time? As the gate drops and away we go. Bosnakis hard on the anchors into the first corner. And the 37 gives chase. Jay Dowsett right on his tail. This starter set Dowsett up for an interesting time. He wasn't able to get onto the back of Bosnakis so easily out of the gate last time. Had to fight his way around a couple of other riders. This time, there's no one in front of him, but this track is incredibly rough now. Will we see Michael Murphy and Namo Leo run all the way through to the checkered? It was a punctuated race last time they came out for the Brutum Logistics MX ATVs. Those guys getting caught up early in the piece. We can see the number 41 of Michael Murphy just getting the rear end, a little bit slide happy as our race leader, Bosnakis, 10 times Aussie champion, makes his way across the back of the track. Spectators starting to funnel their way through the tunnel to check out the quarry jump area And Bosnakis already with a sizable lead to his name. A thumping gap so far. Doing it for Road and Race Motorcycles, Legend Quad Services, Auto Pro Wanneroo. And he credits Beers and Nugs as his sponsors. So Bosnakis up over the quarry jump for the first time and absolutely sends it. So much hang time for these quads. So far, Bosnakis and the number 37, the only bikes to clear that quarry jump. Jay Dowsett currently sits 7.47 seconds back from your race leader. Bosnakis clocked in with a 2 minute 17.497. And the battle is on from third right through to sixth. Josh McQuaid on the 72nd in third, Zach Croonan in fourth, Nama Leo in fifth, and Michael Murphy in sixth. Those two sparring yet again as they go nose to tail on the same rut. We watch on as Jay Dowsett navigates his way through. The battle between Josh McQuaid and Zach Croonan rages. Not uncommon to see bikes through this right-hander on two wheels. Bosnakis leads out. He's already coming out of the trials section. On screen now as he winds his way through the landscape. The boss is putting this Honda to great use. Has a quick look over his shoulder at the rest of the track. Great shots from our 4-Style Media camera crew. As we see, looks like Jay Dowsett. No, my apologies. This is Zach Croonan on screen now on the number 4. He'll lead out Namo Leo, Michael Murphy, and Flynn Burton. Your race leader about to come across the start-finish line. Bosnakis manages to keep the altitude down nice and low. And looks the goods. Zach Croonan leading this battle pack. Here they come down into the pit. Croonan with a minor gap over the 77. Josh McQuaid currently finds himself in 4th place. Croonan developing a little bit of a gap here. This is going to be handy. Almost 9 seconds between Jay Dowsett and Zach Croonan. Croonan has 2.1 seconds over McQuaid, who in turn only has 1.3 back to Michael Murphy. Great to see Ashley Kudal out on track, doing it for the ladies on the 114 machine. Kudal doing it for Legends Quad Services, CrossFit Revenant, and Dad on the LTR 450 Suzuki. She's hunting down Daryl Marangioni, who's clocked in with a 2 minute 45. Kudal actually lapping 0.2 of a second quicker at the back of the pack. Just watching and waiting for this battle pack to come back into view. It's an aggressive ride out there on track. This is the 37 of Jay Dowsett. A handful of Aussie titles to his name. Dowsett doing a great job there on the Legends Quads. Mick Joe Proprietary Limited entry. An angry quartet of quad bikes come down into the pit. You can see the bump starting to form. This is rough. The MX veterans will be up next on the gate. They are starting to prep their positions. We still have 2 minutes, 10 seconds left on the clock for the Brutum Logistics MX ATV division. Jay Dowsett on your screen now, pushing his way through this punishing AJS course. We watch on with your race leader on the number 46, Chris Bosnakis, showing absolutely zero hesitation through the S-bends. One minute 10 left on the clock before we show the last lap board. Bosnakis will peel off another lap. Looking comfortable. Had a muffler failure last time he came around. That was in Manjimup. Managed to finish the racing. Did a great job there. Joined up here in commentary by Conan Forrester. We'll talk to him in just a moment, as it looks like we are set to get ready for the final lap in the Brutum Logistics MX ATVs. Conan, riding the number 3 Yamaha. Tell me, mate, it's been a wild morning so far. One moto down and you had to fight hard, didn't you?
Yeah, the first moto started off well with a good start. Had a bit of pressure from the Rock in the early stages, but he had a crash, but he ended up getting me in the end.
Tell me, the competition out there, incredibly fierce. Who did you most enjoy battling with?
Well, mainly throughout the moto, I was battling with Brock to a point, but yeah, throughout the early stages of the moto, I kind of got into the lead pretty quick, so yeah, mainly Brock.
Man, it's a tough track out there. I've been asking everybody, how are you finding yourself out there on this winding, tough AJS course?
Oh yeah, the track's getting pretty brutal at the moment. This last moto is going to be definitely very rough. Yeah, just going to have to stay light on the bike and try to get pushed through.
Brother, you're looking very flash in the all-white fly gear. You're not going to be hard to miss out there. Some pretty sweet gear you're rocking. I've been asking as well, which boots are you running this season?
Well, the Cully's Yamaha team is backed by City Boots, so that's the ones I'll be wearing.
Great stuff, man. Anyone else you want to give a shout out while you're up here? We are going live on the 4Style Media live stream, Conan.
I'd just like to give a big shout out to WAMX. The changes that they made are very positive, and the whole Cully's Yamaha team, ProPleat, Fuel Clothing, Pertec Gel, and everyone else. Cheers.
Cully's Yamaha, great supporters of this 4Style Media live stream here for round 2 of the Smarter Than Smoking 2021 Senior State Motocross Championship. We are on the final lap for the Brutum Logistics MX ATV division. Kudal has come on through, currently running in 11th spot. Bosnakis looking imposing in the black and orange. Your final lap, he's rounding up lap traffic. Had the pleasure of being joined last weekend at lightweight by Dave Rumans, and he imparted a little bit of knowledge there. When it comes to lap traffic and coming up on back markers, you cannot afford to hesitate. You must find your gap as soon as you get onto their back wheel. If you hesitate, you lose time. You fall further and further back into the clutches of the rider behind you. Bit of a battle happening across the start-finish line. The number 4, that's Zach Croonan, going toe-to-toe with the 77 of Josh McQuaid. McQuaid doing everything he can. Michael Murphy running a fairly lonely race in 5th place. His best lap time was a 2:25. Quickest lap time for this moto is a 2:12.15, and that belongs to the boss, Chris Bosnakis. We are keeping an eye on the comments on the 4Style Media live stream. We'd love to hear what you're thinking. Let us know where you're watching from and share the live stream around. For the checkered flag, Chris Bosnakis takes the win. Congratulations to the number 46 rider. A fantastic job and flawless victory once again. Coming across the start finish. His total time out there, 13 minutes, 26 seconds. The last lap was a 2:16. Incredibly quick. Cudell finishes her lap and will receive the checkered flag. There's P2. And we see Jay Dowsett slots into 2nd place and will record a swag of points there. Third place, Zach Croonan crosses the line. Runs over a couple of cones while he's at it. So your top 5 looks like this. Christopher Bosnakis takes another victory. Coming home in P1. Jay Dowsett in 2nd. Zach Croonan crossed the line in 3rd. Josh McQuaid in 4th place, with Michael Murphy rounding out your top 5 in the Brutum Logistics MX ATV. MX Veterans Division about to come on out. And we have the first of our Instagram competition winners. Noah Thomas, you've scored Mum a bunch of flowers here on Mother's Day. Send you or someone, I don't know if he's racing or not, but if Noah Thomas is able to head on over to the timing tower, we'll hook you up with your Mother's Day present. The last of our sweep riders are just finishing their lap before we send our MX veterans out for their sighting lap.
champions.
16 over A final. This will be a hot competition. Every time I walk back here, I'm beautiful simulation.
Time Christchurch Grammar School. They will be the champions for 2020 as in 2019. Congratulations to our champion, John 23rd College.
We are go. Round 20 lap final. Nickler with a shocking start again. Corey Mitchell, your KZ2 final winner.
Off the start away, it looks like 7 and 3. Got a good one. Second flag. He's going to take it, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on him, right up behind him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake. But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
Welcome back to those that are watching online. Thanks to 4Style Media for jumping on board with Bayless Electrical, Cully's Yamaha, Thomas Vehicle Refinishes, and of course, 4Style MX. I'm joined up here in commentary by John Darrick and Charlie Creech. Guys, how are we going today, Charlie?
Yeah, pretty good, eh? It's nice to be at the local, and yeah, it's nice to see a few fans and people supporting the bar, so it's good.
John, mate, you had a super tough moto last time out. Tell me, 2 rounds today. Do you reckon you might be able to push for a third, or are you quite happy with 2?
I reckon I'll stick with the 2. The 2 longer motos. It's a better format, I think. Yeah.
20 minutes, it's a long, long time. Charlie, on the 57 from West Coast Motorcycles, it looked pretty smooth for you out there in that first one. What do you need to sort of look at adapting for the second moto?
Really just keep your momentum up and just try not to sit down. So it's going to be 20, 22 minutes of grinding, but it'll be good fun, and hopefully me and John and Luke can get out to another good race and yeah, have some fun, put a show on.
John, you and Luke Davis from 14 MX Development put on an absolute cracker of a battle down in Manjimup before you rattled your brain in that third and final moto in Manji. Tell me, how are you feeling on the bike today? Are we going to see any repeat offences, or you reckon you can pull it through?
Well, we'll try and keep that under control. Yeah, I'll try and stay off the dirt. I'd rung my bell a bit in that race, and but no, I'm okay now. It's good to be back.
We did see it was an absolutely huge get-off, and it was amazing to see you get back up on the bike. Tell me, how's the bike fitness going these days?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. You just got to find some good lines, and you get around all right. It's okay.
I was talking while you guys were racing in that first MX1 heat. Lap traffic on a track that's as rough as this, it's not uncommon to see slower guys, as you're coming up to them, getting kicked across into your rut. How do you cope with stuff like that?
Yeah, usually just give them a good kick when you go past, and nah, just kidding. You just got to try and stay out of the way as much as you can, because yeah, it's pretty gnarly out there, and everyone's trying their best to get around, and yeah, just got to try and keep it smooth and see how you end up, I guess.
Well, we are looking like we're getting closer. They're in the hands of the starter for the MX veterans. John, just quickly, the support from Cully's Yamaha has been absolutely huge, mate. Tell me what they've done to help you get out here today.
Oh, yeah, it's unbelievable, to bike prep and yeah, gear and tyres and all of that stuff, and the help on race day is unreal. Kurt, my mechanic, and Stret, yeah, they're really good help. Awesome.
Here we go. The MX veterans, Biff and Barge from Scott Costin on the 114 machine. Let's see if he can hold on to it. Smithy on the 153 lays it down on the inside, just about goes under a wheel. But the Kawasaki out in front. James Craig on the 450 finds his way out in front after an absolute mixer on turn 1. Incredible stuff. Charlie Creech, you've been involved with West Coast Motorcycles for quite some time. We see you run Enduros as well, mate. How did Justin and the crew help you out today?
Oh yeah, no, it's good. They got the truck out again, which is cool. Down at Manjimup, it was wicked just to get everyone that goes to West Coast and stuff. Everyone just goes down there and hangs out, and yeah, it's good. I like to chill out between races, and everyone there is in a good vibe, so it's good. Yeah.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to getting back into MX1. Guys, you better go and get freshened up and put some fresh gear on. I got to say, Charlie, you're looking good in the underclass stuff out there. It looks great.
Yeah, just head over to shoptheunderclass.com and hopefully you can pay for my early retirement. And yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and let's have a good day. Cheers.
John, I know that Cullies, they also hook you up with the freshest gear out there. They've got a massive range, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. They've got Fly Racing help out a bit. Yeah, we got these mint new Cully shirts. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wear these days. And
new Cully shirts. These are all that come straight out of the 70s, mate. They're absolutely killer. All right, great chatting to you guys. We'll catch up with you. Good luck for your next moto, fellas, as the battle continues for the MX veterans, brought to you by Cully's Yamaha. It's great to have John from the number 45 entry up here with us in commentary. Let's see where it all pans out to. At the moment, Luke Few looks like he's grabbed the lead again on the number 69. He has well and truly run away with it. A massive, massive gap over the number 80 of James Craig. Almost 5.8 seconds the difference. Then back to third. Cherkop doing a fantastic job, as it looks like Craig has gone wide on that berm, gone completely over the top and taken an off-track excursion. That big KX proven to be a monster to muscle around. Good to see a little bit of support out there on the live stream. We hope you are enjoying the footage on our 4Style Media live stream. MX Veterans brought to you by Cully's Yamaha, as we enjoy vision of the number 80, James Craig, currently operating in second place behind Luke Few on the number 69. Few on the Honda CRF. Craig on that KX450, a fresh 2021 edition, as Luke Few makes his way into the sector. Oh, James Craig eats sand. Aaron Cherkop looked to get around him, but man, oh man, that looked to be an awkward get-off as Bluey comes through for another lap. It is a tough, tough track out there. Cherky, the president of the Bunbury Motocross Club, in second place on the number 93. The 2020 CRF looking good out there. Third place, Ollie Smith got up on the 153. He's clocked in with a 2:17, but Luke Few just in a whole other class of his own. Best lap time was a 2:09.797. We watch on as the number 69 hooks his way through the back of the track. Few doing it with the swagger sponsors on board. CNS Mining Services, Bunbury City Motorcycles and Wade's MX. Second place, Aaron Cherkop with Bunbury City Motorcycles and Asform. Few up over the quarry jump now. Over Madras City KTM and about to descend into the pit. Taking a fairly sedate approach to the first half of that downhill. Gets himself settled in the air across the finish line. And he has put on a massive, massive gap. Keep the comments coming on our 4-Star Media live stream. We'd love to hear where you're watching from. Also, share it around. We still have one bunch of flowers in our Mother's Day giveaway. All you need to do is put up an Instagram post with hashtag WAMX. We'll search through that and we'll pick our favourite. Noah Thomas is just picking up his Mother's Day gift. As we get back to the racing, and we see Oliver Smith out on track, currently occupying the 2 spot. Smithy got up over Cherkop. Oliver Smith rolling in with a 2-minute 15.47 last time across the finish line. Luke Few reels off another lap. 1 minute left on the clock as he navigates his way through turn 2. Riding efficiently, very smooth on the 69. Has closed the throttle off a bit. Came in with a 2-minute 15.458 last time around. Oliver Smith with a 2-minute 19.43. Still 4 seconds off that pace of our race leader. Aaron Cherkop, a 2-minute 26. His gap is 10.4 seconds to Ollie Smith. Smith, in turn, is 30 seconds back from our race leader. Martin Costa holding down the 4 spot in the 696 machine, but we check out Luke Few on screen. He's somewhere there. We catch him on that number 69 machine as I'm joined by the hard charger himself, Dylan Walsh. Walshy, mate, we saw you eat dirt in that first moto. You managed to shake it off and get back up, but not looking to repeat that in the next race, are we?
No, definitely not. I want to actually get out of the gate and do the next couple corners this time and, yeah, just have a clean race. But, yeah, overall, that's the goal for now. And just pace myself, yeah.
We were talking about how important the starts are, and I think that basically increases and becomes a much more important factor as the track gets as rutted and messy as it is. You really have to make it into that hole shot corner first, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you get the start, man, it just makes it so much easier. But, yeah, that's the goal, to just get the start. It's hard coming from behind, especially on this track as well. I really need to charge it hard.
You've proven that you've got what it takes to pass in an aggressive fashion. Tell me, these corners out here at this AJS course, where in particular is a favourite of yours to put down a passing move?
Definitely just like out of the corners, like if I can get them on the straights and just block them off. I mean, there's not one corner here that you can't pass, but yeah, overall just outbreak them, I reckon, and just take their line.
We are on the final lap. 11 minutes and 30 seconds have clocked over. Walshy, the Empire Cycles entry, it looks fantastic. You've got a couple of great supporters out there as well. Who are they?
I'd like to thank Gas Australia, Empire Cycles, Perth Husqvarna, Firm Construction, Aussie Moto Engineering, my parents, and yeah, everyone else who helps me out. Thank you so much.
Look, these guys have been right on board with you. You've got some tough competition out there in the MX3 division. How are you sort of liking running with Deacon and the rest?
Yeah, definitely. It's so much fun racing them, and you know, they're hell aggressive and stuff. So like, yeah, we're like banging bars, and yeah, it's just cool racing with them. I love it.
You're in a pretty privileged position because only a week ago we saw you cutting laps at lightweight in the junior round, running here in seniors and MX3. You're not exactly strapped for track time, are you?
Nah, for sure. This track is way different to Byford, to tell you that. Very rough, but yeah, I haven't had much sand training, so it's good to get on the track and yeah, do some laps on this track.
Awesome stuff. We are looking for Luke Few as he looks set to close out the win. We're on the final lap here for the MX Veterans Division, their second moto, brought to you by Cullies. Winding our way through. The 69 has been unstoppable all race long. Dylan Walsh, mate, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for coming on up.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we are not going to go too far away as Luke Few set to collect the checkered flag. There it is, the checkers for the number 69, Luke Few.
Bro, I might come up and do some commentating in the MX.
A fantastic win as Luke Few clocks in with a best lap time of 2 minute 9.797. We say goodbye to Dylan Walsh. Keep an eye out for him in the MX3 class. A small category, but the starts are fierce. I tell you what, you look at the hurt that Luke Few put on the rest of the field. Second place, Ollie Smith hasn't crossed the line yet. There he is, the 153 machine. A best lap time of 2 minutes 15.47. Looking for the number 93 of Aaron Cherkop. Cherky on the 2020 CRF 450. Brings it home in third place. So that was our MX Veterans Division. We're now going to move on to MX2. They'll head out for their sighting lap. Of course, when we undertake any track prep, we have to send riders out for a yellow flag lap just so they can get their eye in and be across any modifications that have been made. The skid steer was out with some minor touch-up work. But this is a track that has well and truly developed over the course of the morning's racing. Fantastic conditions here in sunny Wanneroo at AJS Motocross Club. My name's Jay Mack and it's my pleasure to join you here for round 2 of the Smarter Than Smoking Senior State Motocross Championship. Manjimup was a raging success, and we look to back it up. And my apologies, I skipped the race and we are actually sending the MX Clubman out. We have reduced the MX1, MX2 and MX3 heats to only 2 rounds of racing. So they will come on out a little later. We give them a bit of a longer break. AJS, famed for its elevation changes. On screen now you can see just how much airtime these riders get as they come over the quarry jump, up around the top of the hole and down into the pit before sending it across the start-finish line. So riders just completing their sighting lap. Just noticed Kai Smith on the 187. Looks like everybody is going to be heading on around the back of the starting gate to resume their gate position. MX Clubman just taking their place on the gate. A big shout out to our live stream sponsors, Bayless Electrical Group, Cully's Yamaha, and of course Thomas's Vehicle Refinishing Services, as well as 4 Style Media our live stream providers. MX Clubman out on track, proudly brought to you by Smarter Than Smoking. A slightly reduced gate. Fantastic wide shots on our stream as we get set to send MX Clubman out for a 10-minute plus 1 lap moto. They are now in the hands of the starter. The 15-second board is out. Here we go. It's a great launch for the 427, but the 551 is going to be there first. Fiaschi looked like he was going to take it. .551. Jack Bell leads us out in the early stages of this race. Problems there for the 340 machine. Reese Lawrence on the RMZ 450 having some issues there. But how about this? A great start from our rider on the KTM, the 551. Jack Bell on the 2019 SXF. Riders making their way down the hill. Couple of small battle groups forming out there, but everybody pretty much playing follow the leader, except the leader is starting to recede into the distance. Jack Bell having a great run on this KTM. So Bell pulling up, whoa, getting all kinds of sideways, the bike bucking him out of the saddle. Rolls the throttle on this quarry jump over Mandurah City KTM and around the right-hander. Sticks to the inside line and about to come on down into the pit. So at the moment, Bell leads us out. Jacob Hodge running in second on the Yamaha. Kai Smith on the 187 in third place. Hannah Stewart on the Unique Racing entry. The Husqvarna pushing her to fourth place with Sam Davies in fifth. Brock Fiaschi in sixth. Daniel Hawley in seventh. Ryan Beale in eighth. Shane McCullough in ninth. And Brody Lansky rounding out your top 10 in the Smarter Than Smoking MX Clubman. The race leader, Jack Bell, had a 2.2 second gap over Jacob Hodge. Now Hodge is fighting and has managed to grab the top spot on that Yamaha. Looks like he's kicking himself through the track more so than using the power of the bike. A lot of foot off peg moments there for our race leader, Jacob Hodge on the 382. Shots on screen of our race leader on the 382 Yamaha. Jacob Hodge doing it for tyre power on the 2020 YZ250F. We see the 551 of Jack Bell. He was our race leader for the first lap, and Hodge got one over him. Hodge not giving up. They hit the quarry jump together into this final sector. Let's see who's got the pace through the final corner down into the pit. Bell looking to play a fairly safe game. Takes the inside line through that final corner, but gets the aggression working for him on the way up out of the pit. Bounces off the finish line jump and into the left-hander. He has managed to gain some precious time. Hodge with the best lap time for 2 minute 25. We see 0.28 of a second back to Jack Bell. That is tight. Then our next battle, Kai Smith and Hannah Stewart, they're duking it out. Stewart taking the outside line through turn 2, trying to find traction on that Unique Racing Husqvarna. Jack Bell not giving up, looking to get onto the rear tyre of Jacob Hodge. That gap has grown slightly. He had a fantastic run up out of the pit, but Hodge has just managed to pull about a second, almost 2 seconds. You can see the power of the KTM across the trial section of the track. Into the sweeper. Through that left-hander, and Hodge is just unstoppable. Hodge really having to work to keep the bike up out of the ruts. A lot of kicks. 551, gee, that is a menacing sight. Hannah Stewart has clocked in with the quickest lap time. It was a 2 minute 25.151. Some 0.4 of a second quicker than your race leader Jacob Hodge on the 382 Yamaha. Into the final sector. Hodge launches that Yamaha and Bell gives chase. Let's see if he can pull off a similar move again. He managed to pull a 2 second gap on Bell running in P2. And Bell didn't look like he got the clean getaway down into the pit this time. And Hodge is going to consolidate this gap over the 551. Third place, we see the 187 of Kai Smith, looking like he was just about in some trouble there on the Honda. The Huskies managed to pull up behind. This is Hannah Stewart on the 552. She's lapping quick, a 2 minute 29.35. There's only 2 other riders running in the 229s. Everybody else is in the 230s and up. So, Unique Racing acquitting themselves well this early stage of the race. Bell doing everything he can to keep this KTM SXF ticking. Hodge has well and truly grown that gap out. It was 2.17 seconds last time they came around. It's blown out to almost 4 seconds in the space of a lap. Jack Bell in the hunt for Jacob Hodge. Hodge now coming up on some lap traffic in the final couple of corners. Gets around him with ease before Mandurah City KTM jump. It looks like Bell may have lost a bit of the fire. Let's see if that's going to bring him back into the hands of Kai Smith. We enjoy shots, thanks to our 4-Style Media camera crew, of our race leader, Jacob Hodge, on the 382 Yamaha. And this is the gap back to second place. Jack Bell mixed up in some lap traffic. There we go. There's Jack popping into view. Some 9 seconds the difference. Hannah Stewart could potentially sneak a place. Nope. A downed rider slows them up. Kai Smith holds on to third place. Looks like the 340 of Reese Lawrence finding issue there on turn 2. Tough to see the Suzuki go down. See another rider out in the S-bends going down, having to lift their bike up. Managed to get themselves back up underway. And riders going down left, right and centre. This MX Clubman crew struggling against gravity. We ride with your race leader, Jacob Hodge. 2 laps to go. Hodge making his way into the left-right complex before the quarry jump. Looking like he's made it to the end of this race in better form than he finished his first moto. Spending a lot more time up out of the saddle on the Yamaha and looking a lot more comfortable. Jack Bell on the 551, still holding down the 2 spot, but has managed to fall further back. Last time they crossed, it was 9.1 seconds, the difference. Hannah Stewart not afraid to send a Unique Racing Husqvarna. She's coming up onto the back of Kai Smith. Needs to get the pass done because we're on the final lap. Smith doesn't quite stretch the legs on that final jump, and Hannah Stewart on the inside line. Couldn't quite capitalise, but sends it over the tabletop, and she'll be alongside as they hit the right-hander. Smith has the shorter distance to travel, and he puts the block on her. She has to rethink that move and drops back in behind. Smith covering off the inside. The 552 Unique Racing entry. Hannah Stewart doing everything she can. The final lap. The top 5 look like this. Jacob Hodge leading out Jack Bell with Kai Smith in 3rd, fighting it out with Hannah Stewart in 4th. Sam Davies on the 479 machine, currently in 5th position. Hannah Stewart owns the fastest lap of the 2-minute 25.15. Hodgie on the 382. looking set to clinch a second straight victory. Over the quarry jump goes our race leader. No challenges in sight. And not to put the mockers on him, but a fantastic win for our MX Clubman race winner, Jacob Hodge. Jack Bell about to send the 551 up out of the pit for a race finish. It's a battle right to the end once again. Hannah Stewart couldn't quite clinch it and will finish in fourth place behind Kai Smith on the 187 machine. Smith doing it for 8+ Limestone pedal play and Savage motorcycles. Sam Davies will round out your top 5 on the 479 machine. Through for the finish in the Troy Lee Designs gear and the underclass livery on the Husky. So your top 5 look like this. Jacob Hodge with a race victory over Jack Bell in second place. Kai Smith in third. Hannah Stewart in fourth. And Samuel Davies rounding out your top 5 for the Smarter Than Smoking MX Clubman division. Next up, the Brutum Logistics MX ATV final heat. A 10-minute plus 1 lap affair. So while the Smarter Than Smoking MX Clubman class make their way off track for their final lap, we will just take a very short break and be back with the MX ATV in just a moment.
Right on him, right up behind him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake. But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
So riders taking their places on the start gate. "15 seconds. Great start from the 37 machine. Exactly what he wanted. Jay Dowsett off to an early lead. Bosniakis making big moves around the outside over the tabletop, and he's already on the rear tyres of Jay. That 37 machine has been nipping in second place for the last two motos. Now he gets a taste of what it's like to run in clean air. Dowsett, Bosniakis, then the number 17, that's Namo Leo on the 450 Yamaha. Our front runners have pushed away, and looks like Bosniakis, quick around the outside, has managed to grab P1. Jay Dowsett back in second, has a quick look over the shoulder. So make their way down towards the sweeper. Quick chance to grab the cord on the roll-offs there for Bosniakis. Now 46 is hustling. 8 minutes 45 seconds remain on the clock. This is a 10-minute moto. The Brutum Logistics MX ATV division looking set to finish their first lap of this third and final moto, a 10-minute sprint race. Bosniakis fires it down into the pit. Gets a little bit untidy over the finish line jump. Jay Dowsett has to get on the anchors to stop himself from heading over. Namo Leo holding down third place over Michael Murphy, currently running in the fourth spot. Not to be outdone, running in fifth is Josh McQuaid on the 77. Ashley Curedale has got up over the top of Daryl Marangioni. Great to see the rider in yellow grabbing a position. But your race leader checking out 4.2 seconds ahead. The number 4 of Zach Croonan tacking onto the back of Michael Murphy and Namo Leo's 3-bike battle pack, as we see issues for the number 48 of Flynn Burton. They're on the finish line. Has a look over his shoulder, and I get the feeling his day is done. He's going to retire the 47. Unfortunate. But all eyes on this 3-bike battle pack. Zach Croonan behind Michael Murphy and Namo Leo. This isn't the battle for the front. This is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The number 17 holding off Michael Murphy. Murphy doing it for Road and Race, MC, Next M, CSD, and he's credited Jack Daniels for his success. This is Jay Dowsett on the 37, getting right off the inside of the bike as he muscles the big quad around this AJS course. Your race leader about to drop into the pit. 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Looking very comfortable indeed. Jay Dowsett might want to get a move on, otherwise this 3-bike pack is going to catch up to him. They seem to be feeding off each other. So Namo Leo has fallen to Michael Murphy. Murphy now occupies the 3 spot. Leo in 4th. And we see Zach Croonan on the number 4, currently in 5th place. Josh McQuaid on the 77, riding largely on his own in 6th. Currently see Chris Bosniakis in 1st place, not only in this race, but also in the championship after 1 round of competition at Manjimup. He finished that event on 46 points. Michael Murphy on 2nd. And he's looking to consolidate a lead over Namo Leo in the points charge as well. The battle continues. Murphy holding off Leo. They look to have left Zach Croonan behind, developing a gap on him. As your race leader is full send, 3 minutes 20 left on the clock. His best lap time is a 2-minute 11. Then you have to look almost 12 seconds back to Jay Dowsett's 2-minute 23.79. Bosniakis reels off another lap. Dowsett in 2nd. And this is shaping up to be very tasty indeed. Murphy in 3rd. Zach Croonan got up over the top of Namo Leo. He must have made a mistake, as Leo has now fallen back to 5th place. That's going to sting. Michael Murphy will definitely be welcoming the extra bike in between himself and Leo and open up that points gap. The gap from 1st to 2nd currently sitting at 13.9 seconds. Leo has a look over the shoulder, but he's starting to lose touch with Zach Croonan and Michael Murphy. Zach Croonan doing it on the Honda TRX 450 for Advanced Auto Logic, 14 Industries, and Complete Racing Solutions. Michael Murphy has a good, long, hard look back to Zach Croonan. That number 4 has faded off just a little bit. Murphy muscling this Yamaha around. Bosniakis has come through the start-finish. So we're going to be at 2 to go. Croonan trying to get up onto the back of Michael Murphy. That 41 just proving to be too tough. Follow on as Zach Croonan tries to fight against Michael Murphy on the 41. He's managed to close up the gap. The tough thing is finding a place to pass. Locked in this nose-to-tail formation, Zach Croonan can't really do an awful lot. If he's close enough when they come over the top of Mandurah City KTM, he may have a chance in the final corner. Bosniakis has definitely rolled out of this one, not having to push anywhere near as hard through the final corner. And he will collect the final lap board. Smooth sailing from here on out. I just saw a thumbs down from Bosniakis to his pit board. I'm not 100% sure what that was all about. Second place, Jay Dowsett. And on to the final lap. Michael Murphy has well and truly opened up that gap to Croonan. That gap currently sits at 2.21 seconds. Up the inside of Kudal goes Michael Murphy, sorry. Quick lap time belongs to Bosniakis with a 2-minute 11.053. Follow on with our race leader. Bosniakis on the 46 could do no wrong and hasn't put a foot out of place. coming through for the finish to grab the checkered flag. 3 straight Moto victories. Christopher Bosniakis. Congratulations. Having a chat to his pit board, he gets some applause from the spectators for a clean sweep. Second place, Jay Dowsett fought incredibly hard. 3 runner-up positions to his name will do him incredibly well. Michael Murphy on the 41. After 3 motos, he is a broken man. That would be tough. So this is your finishing order. Christopher Bosniakis on the 46 over Jay Dowsett in second, with Michael Murphy bringing it home in third place. Zach Croonan in fourth and Nabo Leo in fifth on track. We move into the MX Veterans, I believe, again. We'll take a short moment and be back at the conclusion of the MX Veterans sighting lap. We are back and ready to send our MX veterans, proudly presented by Cully's Yamaha, out onto this AJS course for one final moto here at round 2 for the Seniors State Motocross Championship, proudly presented by Smarter Than Smoking. It's been a massive day of racing up to this point, and it is only going to get more hectic. Number 69, Luke Few, has been unstoppable in the past 2 motos. Can he make it a clean sweep as we get set to show them the 15-second board? Costin on the 114 has been big in these starts. Gets out of the hole cleanly, and he is a full nose ahead. Just about copped a Kawasaki to the side, but not today. James Craig sends it large on that tabletop. Looked like he was going to grab track position, but couldn't quite get it done. Costin falls back a place and now occupies the 2 spot. Wow, Luke Few really put those rollers to good use. Managed to grab 2 positions, rounds up Costin, and now resides in P2. What a move from the 69 machine. Riders winding their way through that deep sandy section. And you can see the bright colours of Costa now occupying 4th place on track. Tough break as we get back into it. And Luke Few with a big move up around the outside. Has he got what it takes to hold it down? They battle and change positions. This is tight. Cherkop doing everything he can to hold the 69 off, but can't keep it and loses 2 for the price of 1. Cherky will be kicking himself after that. So he's back in 3rd place, and Luke Few has nothing but clean air ahead of him. He looks to mount a charge, trying to get back into 2nd place. Few on the 69 for CNS Mining Services, Bunbury City Motorcycles, and Wade's MX. Leads out the 153 of Oliver Smith for Bunbury KTM on the 450 SXF. Few has to stab the ground to keep that Honda upright. Here they come into the quarry jump, and Few just hangs for eternity in midair. So it's Few, Smith, Cherkop as they come down into the pit. Few looks comfortable. Smith needs to close that gap up. This veterans division has a 10-minute sprint ahead of them. So far, nothing major to report. A lot of our riders have spread themselves out. Few gaining a precious gap. Problems there for the number 80 Kawasaki. James Craig had to go both feet down mid-corner. Less than ideal for the JC Plumbing and Gas entry, but he has recovered and is back up on his way. Cherkop running that high, wide line, trying to get away from James Craig. That big Quacker 450 thundering away behind him. And gaining ground on him too. Look at how much that gap has closed down. Cherkop's going to have his hands full. Maybe not this lap, but potentially next lap if he doesn't pull something out of the bag. Randy goes. Down into the trials section, the lowest part of the track. Arguably one of the quickest as well. Few has well and truly checked out. But the battle raging on your 4Style Media live stream. It's between Aaron Cherkop and James Craig on the number 80 Kawasaki. Cherkop doing a great job on this Honda. They vie for track position in these two separate lines. A massive berm in between them, and Cherkop manages to hold him off. Into the quarry jump. Cherkop sets himself up nicely. Didn't quite lengthen that jump quite as well as Craig. And Craig looks to pounce on him on the way down into the pit. This is tight. He's right in behind Cherkop. They drop down as they come up over the start-finish line to chalk up another lap. Craig gets the jump on him, tries to put the move down on the left-hander, but gets the door shut on his nose. Drops back, reassesses, and readies himself to make another attack. Action aplenty, the 696 gathering a precious position on track. Martin Costa for Moto Tune, Hills Moto and Motors and Filter Supplies WA jumping up on this 3-bike battle pack. He'll be happy on that Yamaha, elevating himself. Oliver Smith on your screens now on the 153. So Luke Few leading this race with a handy margin back to second place. Oliver Smith on the 153. Making his way through that deep, sandy left-right complex, in over the rollers to the quarry jump. Luke Few, just effortless. Making this Honda look like it's got the weight of a feather. Plummets down into the pit. No one really able to challenge him at any point in this race. Oliver Smith has a quick look across the corner to see just how much gap he's got. Back to Cherkop. Cherkop's definitely got his hands full. And if he had rear view mirrors, he'd see a whole bunch of Kawasaki filling them. Craig looked to try and replicate that move into turn one, but couldn't get the proximity. Craig a little tidier through that right-hander there, gaining some precious ground. We watch on. Craig taking the fast line around that right-hander. The KX450 doing a fantastic job out there. And the fatigue starting to show for both of these riders. They come around the sweeper. Cherky has been a class act all race long, wheeling that Honda through the deep sand. Into the trial section they come now. The JC Plumbing and Gas WA entry of James Craig, looking like he got a bit of run off that corner. Some great shots, this Bunbury City Honda. into the final sector, we look for our race leader. Legs akimbo, that's not our race leader, that is Ollie Smith. As we check out the 69 on screen, that is Luke Few. And he has got a sizable gap back to second place. James Craig's dropped off the back of Cherkop. Cherkop looking like he's riding the weight off his shoulders now. Luke Few with what looks to be another runaway victory if he continues in this fashion. Riders all largely spaced out. A fantastic opportunity to thank our live stream sponsors, Cully's Yamaha, for jumping on board. A massive range of dirt apparel. The latest from Fox, City, Fly Racing, the whole lot, all there. Go and check them out in Balcatta, or give them a call, 9344 4444. Few reels off another lap. This is the final lap. And it looks like we are going to highlight a fantastic three-peat if Luke Few continues in such a fashion. The 69 rider has been unstoppable. Oliver Smith some 21.2 seconds behind. Let's look back to the number 93 of Cherkop. He is 31 seconds behind our race leader. A selection of riders not opting to start this final moto. 8 riders weren't able to make it out to the gate for this last race. James Craig looking at an 8-second gap to third place. That Kawasaki now all on his own. Martin Costa running in 5th place. Luke Few just rounding up some lap traffic on his march to the finish. He has been an unstoppable force all day long in the Cully's Yamaha MX Veterans division. Through the final corner for the final time into the pit. And for the checkered flag, Luke Few takes it out in a clean sweep. quick lap time belonged to Luke Few with a 2-minute 11.989. Second place goes to Oliver Smith on the 153, finishing with the best lap of 2 minutes 17. Only 4.4 seconds ahead of third place Aaron Cherkop. His best lap time was a 2 minute 20.791. That was your Cully's Yamaha MX Veterans. We move on now to MX2. MX2 brought to you by Husqvarna Australia. Check out husqvarnamotorcycle.com.au for the latest on the 2022 Husqvarna lineup. Releasing their motocross editions in the last 7 days. Now is a fantastic time to give your local Husqvarna dealer a call and find out what the supply times are going to be for these brand new models. Welcome to the second round of the Smarter Than Smoking Senior State Motocross Championship here at AJS. It's a beautiful day. And thanks to all that are watching online. Thanks to 4Style Media. We're going to take a super short break. We will be back once we have our MX2 division on the start gate. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching online on our 4-Style Media live stream, brought to you by Bayless Electrical Group, Cully's Yamaha, Thomas's Vehicle Refinishes, and of course, finding yourself here at the Smarter Than Smoking Senior State Motocross Championship Round 2. MX2 is where it's at, brought to you by Husqvarna Australia. And we have a 75% capacity gate ahead of us. A brilliant day's racing has been had. This is only the second time these riders have come on out. 2 heats, the order of the day for our MX2 division. Conan Forrester on the number 3 was off to a flying start in the first moto, looking to get a clean getaway. Seth Manuel was an absolute star in the early stages of the first moto. Has he got what it takes to back it up and go one better? 5 seconds. And away we go. It was a great start from Brock Flynn, but chaos ensues in the first corner. That was not tidy at all. The 66, Dylan Hennessy, right out there in front. Problems there for Turner on the 54. And it was no good for the 165. MX2 finally all up on their bikes and out on track, some 4 wide as they make their way through. Dylan Hennessy falling back to around the 4 spot as we watch our race leader getting away through the sweeper. A very fast section of the track. That's the 37 of Paul Humberston. He was a big mover in the previous moto as well. Finds himself with clean air, nothing in front of him. And that KTM is doing a brilliant job. Humberston with a handy 2-second, maybe about a second actually, gap back to P2. That's the 280. Into the quarry jump for the first time. And apologies, it looks like it's Brock Flynn running in second place at 260. Humberston leads out Flynn over the 44 of Daniel Pajewski. We had a quick chat to him earlier in the day. The Mandurah City KTM rider is looking to get a clean start. He's found himself up into the top trio, but our front 2 riders are starting to pull away. Quick lap time belongs to Humberston, 2:07.79. Then it's a 2.5 second gap to Brock Flynn with Pajewski 1.7 seconds off Flynn's rear tyre. We watch on as Brock Flynn looks to mount a charge. This MX2 class really delivering the goods. And down goes the 37. Humberston, your race leader, has gone off the side of the track down. Just having a look. Looks to be around the sweeper. Hard to tell from my position. But that elevates Flynn up into P1. However, maybe only briefly, because Pajewski is on the charge. A young KTM rider looking to get one over him. Struggling to get drive off that left-hander. And Flynn picks up a handy lead as they come into the final corners of the lap. Flynn just looking smooth on that 260. drops down out of the sky into the pit. Pajewski following hot on his heels. Flynn doing it for Husqvarna Australia. WP Suspension, Perth Husqvarna, MXRP, Flight 14, MX Development, and VP Racing Fuel. There's Conan Forrester. He is currently your quickest rider out there on track. Now we've got a full hot lap under our belts. We'll be able to see just how quick he was going. You can keep an eye on the live timing thanks to Race Monitor and Speed Hive. We watch on as the rider in white, Conan Forrester, occupies our screens. He's currently in the 4 spot behind Seth Manuel on the number 95. Down into the sweeper he drops. And this Yamaha, absolutely incredibly put together. Forrester really wants to get up with our lead riders through the trial section of the course now, in through the shadows. As we ride on with Conan Forrester. Our quickest lapper out there into the S-bends. Bit of moving and shaking a little further back. The 66 of Dylan Hennessy. Fighting it out, just trying to pick the number from here. Your race leader clicks off another lap. And he's got himself a handy gap, 3 seconds, the difference between Brock Flynn and Daniel Pajewski. Back to 3rd place is Conan Forrester. He's 10 seconds from our race leader. Then into the 66 of Dylan Hennessy with Seth Manuel falling back a space and now under fire from Cody Chittick. Chittick looks to round him up on the outside, but Manuel will get drive off that right-hander. Hits the bottom of that jump. Chittick looked a little more comfortable. Chittick on the inside. Has he got the drive? Shows Manuel the wheel. They hit the tabletop in unison, and this looks like Chittick could have track position into the following left-hander. Here they come, side by side. Chittick on the inside, puts the block down on Manuel and elevates himself up into 5th place. Chittick doing it for Strickland Race Development. He'll be happy to have that monkey off his back, but he cannot rest on his laurels. Seth Manuel has been known to whip one out of the bag. Problems for the 341. Jacob Jones in MX2. He's one of our expert riders from Albany Motorcycles, doing it on the Honda. We rejoin with Brock Flynn and the 260 Husqvarna. Putting in a stellar performance. We watch on, and Flynn now having to contend with some lap traffic. Into the pit they come. Flynn gets around the 351 machine of Matthew Marson. 2nd place, Pajewski. Quick time belongs to Brock Flynn with a 2:05.65. Pajewski has run in with a 2:07.92. Around lap traffic. The 66 of Dylan Hennessy now doing everything he can to chase down Cody Chittick. Chittick on that Yamaha, trying to hunt down and regain sight of the number 3 rider, Conan Forrester. Brock Flynn races through the trees. Rounding up more lap traffic. Flynn sends it over the quarry jump into Mandurah City KTM. It looks like Pajewski was able to close down the gap somewhat, but still not having an easy run. Has to check up in the pit to get around lap traffic. And Flynn has 9 minutes to go. This is a 20-minute moto, pushing these riders to their absolute limits. We watch on. Daniel Pajewski on your screens now on the 44 with beautiful kitchen designs, diamond designs, Mandurah City KTM and Troy Lee designs with Pirelli support on board. Seth Manuel on the number 95. Circulating largely on his own now. Has lost sight of the back. Oh, problems in turn 1. There's a yellow flag, and our rider has managed to get the bike back up, underway. Daniel Pajewski on the KTM, down into the trials section. Looking absolutely awesome in all KTM factory gear. Looking down the order, Brock Flynn leads us out on the 260. Daniel Pajewski in second. Conan Forrester in third. Cody Chittick fourth. Dylan Hennessy on the 66 in fifth. Seth Manuel in sixth. Christian Silvestro on the Husqvarna in seventh. Evan Brown on the 21 in eighth, with Tom Lilly in ninth. Jake Turner in 10th. Ravon Newart in 11th. Campbell McMahon 12th. Ben Cook in 13th. Dylan Lowry in 15th. And Isaac Atkins from Savage Motorcycles in 15th. Massive send from Cody Chittick over the quarry jump. Conan Forrester clicks off another lap in his all-white gear on the number 3 machine. Forrester's best lap time was a 2:16. His last lap time was a 2:16. His best was a 2:07. We look at consistency in times like this, but with this track throwing up so many curveballs, consistency is kind of like trying to find the goose that lays the golden egg. Flynn was your quickest. Oh, issues out there. Big move from the 54 of Jake Turner. Trying to get up over Evan Brown, the 21. This is going to be a battle worth watching in through turn 2. Evan Brown and Jake Turner. Jake Turner gets up over the top of the KTM rider. In amongst lap traffic they come around the 210 machine. We follow on with Dan Pajewski coming in front of our spectator position in through the right-hander. The next rider on track in front of him is Isaac Atkins on the 808, but Isaac circulating out of place there, down in 14th. So Pajewski just needs to get around him. Four minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Pajewski almost 8 seconds back from race leader rather, Brock Flynn. Starting to get ahead of myself. Pajewski managed to get around Atkins, no worries. And the 44 rider pushing himself along at a rapid rate of knots. Almost coming unstuck, shooting himself over the top of the berm. He'll fire himself into the quarry jump. Your race leader clicks another lap. And the 260 just unstoppable. We ride now with Brock Flynn from Perth, Husqvarna. Brock Flynn over the back of the track, in towards the sweeper. It's been an incredibly rough day out here for these guys. I'm sure there's more than a few that are going to be happy they're only running 2 motos. Your race leader in the background there just gobbling up lap traffic like they were standing still. Getting around the 155 at Campbell McMahon. Great to see Brock Flynn running with some support from the Carrot Kings, the Lamatina family over on the East Coast. The Lamatinas, more commonly known for their exploits in Top Fuel drag racing. Flynn over the quarry jump. Reel off the seconds as we count back to the number 44 of Daniel Pajewski. So Brock Flynn on his final lap in this final moto for the MX2 division. Brought to you by Husqvarna Australia. And he looks set to go 2 from 2. He's been absolutely unstoppable. Best lap time for 2:05.65. Pajewski has been doing everything he can. The 2:07.46 is the most that he could muster. It's been an incredible effort here at AJS from all of our riders today. Conan Forrester acquitting himself well on the number 3, currently in the 3 spot. His best lap time's been a 2:07.073. So we watch out for him, the rider in white. And it looks like the vast majority of our riders have separated themselves out. For the finish, in 1 lap's time, Brock Flynn looking like he is just about unstoppable. The quickest, the fastest, the man in P1, Flynn bringing it home. Less than 1 lap remains. And something would have to go drastically wrong for Flynn to not take this one out. Pajewski has given it his absolute all on the number 44. 3rd place, Conan Forrester. 4th, Cody Chittick from Strickland Race Developments. Here comes Forrester down in front of the pitboard area. Looking now for Cody Chittick. Here he is, over the start-finish line. Takes the outside line to get around lap traffic. Isaac Atkins there on the 808. And into the right-hander. So Chittick largely on his own. Then we look back. Dylan Hennessy on the 66. Back in 5th place. Seth Manuel coming up on my screens in 6th. Jake Turner in 7th, Evan Brown 8th, Tom Lilly 9th, and Ravon Newart in 10th place. The dying stages of this Husqvarna Australia MX2 final moto as the checkered flag is out for Brock Flynn. An amazing performance there, and the 260 machine carrying him through to a well-earned victory. Looking for the number 44, here he is across the finish line. Daniel Pajewski. A tough race there for Pajewski. He had a great start, found himself in that top 3 early in the piece. Conan Forrester about to plunge into the pit for the final time today. And will take 3rd place in the MX2. Cody Chittick on the 39 Yamaha for Strickland Race Development. And the 66 of Dylan Hennessy rounds out your top 5. So once again, your top 5 look like this. In first place for Husqvarna Australia and Perth Husky, Brock Flynn. Daniel Pajewski in second on the KTM. Third was Conan Forrester on the Yamaha. Cody Chittick in fourth for Strickland Race Developments. Fifth place saw Dylan Hennessy on the 66. Jake Turner having himself a tough race there, bringing it home in 7th place. Evan Brown in 8th. We can look forward to seeing Evan Brown in the upcoming Pony Express events. They're coming up in the calendar. And while we have a relative moment of calm, I'd like to welcome up a man who wears many, many hats in the WA motocross industry and the bike industry in general, Don McGrath. And today, who are we representing?
Yeah, actually, today probably Max's Tyres. We're helping Charlie Creech and his father get through the day, although don't really need a lot of help. They do quite a good job on with themselves, but what a great day.
It has been absolutely awesome. We've been blessed with some of the best weather I've seen in the last couple of weeks here on race day. The track started out, looked absolutely mint. This is my first time coming to AJS, so I really got to see it develop, and man, oh man, it looks like a war zone out there right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got rougher as the day has gone on, and I think the guys were even saying after practice that it's as rough as what they've normally seen it at the end of the day. So for these guys, particularly MX3, but also the clubbies and the C graders to put in their 15 minutes, it's a big gig.
Give me the rundown on Max's Tyres choice here today. You're running a paddle tyre, of course.
Yes, running a paddle. Charlie's got a paddle on the rear and an MX-ST on the front. Really, it's probably a paddle is the tyre of choice here, although there is some other options, but I think, you know, as you can see from the terrain, it's pretty well a paddle.
It's been an incredible day of racing here, and not to take anything away from the other categories, but let's talk about MX1. It was absolutely awesome to see him out there. John Darrick putting up a fight, unfortunately coming home, I think it was 2nd place in that first moto. Do you reckon Johnny's got what it takes to try and get onto the back of Charlie here on the start?
Well, he was on the back. I think Charlie managed that race pretty well. He kept a gap. Gap went up and down a couple of times, and then Johnny D took a fairly hard charge at the end there, but I think Charlie was managing it. So I noticed that as they came across the penultimate lap, or 2 laps before, they just missed the time by a couple of seconds, so they had to do the extra 2 laps. But I think Charlie knew where JD was the whole time, so this race will be a good one. I think they'll all come out for it. It'll be interesting to see how fit Brock Flynn is. Stumps up for another 450 race. But the race has just been great. I mean, between the top 3, Luke Davies, you know, and JD and Charlie. But yeah, Luke's just got to hang on, I think.
We know that he can sometimes be a fly in the ointment. He's got a turn of speed, and he can generally pop up in the most awkward of places for the guys running at the front, make life hard for him. Don, thank you so much for coming on up, giving us a bit of your time, mate. Looking forward to seeing this MX1 Moto at the end of the day.
Yeah, most definitely. And you've also got to remember Charlie's doing the State Enduro Championships as well and is currently leading that. So he's going back-to-back with MX and Enduro, so he's doing a great job.
Look, bike fitness is absolutely key, especially when you look at a track like AJS, but it's going to carry across no matter what discipline he finds himself in. Don McGrath from Max's Tyres today. Check him out, but if you don't already know him, well, you're probably doing something wrong in the bike industry here in Perth. We'll come back to you in just a moment with our start gate for MX3 for their final 20-minute moto.
Yeah, but it's a time delay.
Ever so slight, like he's just rounded the. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay, because I was watching before and I thought.
You watch this because this one is actually what's going out on Facebook, and because we don't have a
Maybe I was
replay.
watching. Yeah, so
It's at the bottom of the jump.
these already. Oh, where are they? Yeah, those are those.
Love Willie's events. Thanks, Jared. You're all good? Yeah, all great, Tom. Thanks for coming up, mate. Appreciate it. We are just about to drop the gate on the MX3 20-minute moto. Deacon pace looked good, but the 66 of Caden Manier well and truly out in front. A world apart. And sets himself up for this 20-minute moto in the finest fashion possible. The 61 giving chase. Dylan Walsh got that start that he was looking for. Wanted a clean run into the first corner. Caden Manier coming back from over east. He got a great wrap over there. It's great to see his success as we watch on. This MX3 final moto brought to you by KTM Australia. And your race leader already on his way out down towards the back. Into the sweeper now. Dylan Walsh just falling off the back end of that KTM. Having a look as we catch him through the trial section. Fast-moving targets in amongst the trees. Manier leads us out. Jordan Manier on screen, Deacon Pace in hot pursuit. And the 68 of Patrick Butler. Into the final sector of the track, and Manier looking to put down another flawless victory. One lap down. Dylan Walsh on the Empire Cycles backed entry comes across the finish line. Jordan Manier holding off Deacon Pace, currently running in fourth place. We'll catch up with the battle for third and fourth. Oh, and it's no longer a battle. Deacon Pace with issues in the middle of the corner. Manages to get the bike refired, but that is definitely not how you want this final 20-minute moto to go. The good news is still plenty of time left to move himself back up onto the back wheel of the number 47 of Jordan Manier. Only 9 riders fronting up for MX3. The 47 of Jordan Minnier on screen as we cut away to the 61 of Dylan Walsh. Aggressive young rider, rocking that Troy Lee Designs helmet. Cade Minnier getting the thumbs up from our flag marshal. Dylan Walsh skips the gas through that final corner, drops down out of the sky. I tell you what, the gas proving to be a popular styling choice with some of our younger riders. The red KTM, as we call them. So Jordan Minnier relatively safe from Deacon Pace at this point in time. The gap some 6.1 seconds. Deacon Pace about 10.7 seconds ahead of Patrick Butler on the 68. Cade Minnier is your quickest lapper out there with a 2-minute 3-second lap time. Dylan Walsh, his pace, well, it's about 5 seconds slower, 2 minutes 8 seconds. The lap time there for Walsh on the 61 gas. A Yamaha rider is down in the lead up to the quarry jump. It looks to be one of the pitters, either Jeremy or Travis. We'll double check. Hayden O'Leary coming across the start-finish line and looking very sluggish through that first corner. As we watch on with Dylan Walsh on the 61 through the S section and in towards the quarry jump. It's a lonely race for Walsh, and he's still got another 13 minutes to go. Jeremy Pitter on the 324 machine for BPM, Porter MX Coaching, CNR Motorsport Development and Mandurah City Yamaha. It's just ahead on track for Dylan Walsh on the 61. .12 minutes 50 left on the clock. 12 minutes 50 of torture. Don't forget, riders, if you have finished up for the day, we'd love to have your transponders back. Everybody pretty well spaced out on track here in this MX3 race. The number 68 of Patrick Butler looking awesome in the Perth Husky colours. Dylan Walsh looking very smooth over that final jump across the finish line. We watch on as Dylan Walsh navigates his way down towards the sweeper. A harsh landing for that gas rider. Walshy almost got bucked over the handlebars there on the landing. Very, very rough there. The fatigue starting to show. He has himself a decent gap, almost 21 seconds back to Jordan Menier on the 47. So no real and imminent danger at this point in time. But if for some reason he does find himself eating dirt, Menier will pounce on him. Your race leader kicks us into the next lap. Under 10 minutes remain. We're over halfway for this 20-minute moto. Jordan Menier's managed to close down 10 seconds in the course of a lap. Now only 10.2 seconds back from Dylan Walsh. Looking like we've got issues on our live stream with that Yamaha rider. It looks to be Jeremy Pitter. Cade Menier capitalising and putting as much of a gap as possible on Dylan Walsh. It was 42.25 seconds last time around. Menier about to close off lap 5 and open up lap 6. As it looks like issues. I think it's Patrick Butler down there at the bottom of the pit. So there's a waved yellow. And the number 68 machine will be hauled off track. And unfortunately, Butler will have a DNF recorded against his name. Not the way you want round 2 of the State Motocross Championship to go, but unfortunately that seems to be the tale of the tape. Cade Menier has gone as quick as a 2:03.71, as last time around was a 2:08.26. Dylan Walsh lapping in the 2:21s. And that gap between P1 and 2, almost a minute now. So Jordan Manier closing this gap down. Now only 6.79 seconds between himself and Dylan Walsh. Deacon Pace is now on the hunt. He's less than a half a second, and Deacon Pace gets the move done on Jordan Manier, the 47. Jordan now back in 4th. Deacon relegates himself up into 3rd. And watch Pace fire off with the remaining 5 minutes of this moto. An unfortunate incident which saw him have to restart the machine in, I believe it was turn 2, early in the piece. So Pace now starting to open up that gap on Manier. Looking to get away and find the back of the 61. Jordan Manier fighting back on Deacon Pace. This is the bona fide battle. Stick with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Pace doing it for Mandurah City KTM, Motorex, Intent, Road and Race, Nextem, NR Metal Recycling. And problems again for Deacon Pace. What is going on for the number 21? The young guy just can't catch a break. So Jordan Manier now has himself a gap, and problems on the final corner. We've got a wave medical flag. I've just seen Jordan Manier go through. Peter is through. There goes Deacon Pace. Hard to see who that is from my vantage point. That bike on the second to last corner. Three minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock as we ride with Deacon Pace on the 21. And it looks like it was Dylan Walsh and the number 61 that went down in the second to last corner. His goggles are off and he's just been lapped by our race leader. But Dylan Walsh will now drop through the order and come across in 4th place. Jordan Manier and Deacon Pace both got up over the top of him. And Walshy throws the goggles off to the sideline in disgust. That is really, really tough to see. So the race continues, and your top 3 look like this. Caden Manier on the 66 KTM, leading us out for the KTM Junior Racing Team. Motorex, Troy Lee Designs and Dunlop, with Mandurah City KTM support on board. Jordan Manier for Underclass, EXP Resources, ETS Race Fuels, and Mandurah City KTM as well, with Deacon Pace rounding out your top 3. All top 3 riders riding for Mandurah City KTM. Deacon Pace, well, it looked like he just couldn't have a clean run. Problems with that machine causing issues. Fingers crossed that it will last through till the event. So Pace across the finish line one more time. Jordan Manier on the 66, just running through some lower intensity laps.
transponders in.
Caden Mania looking to round out a successful 2 from 2. A shortened race format means that although he is running 2 20-minute motos, he is still relatively fresh. Mania across the finish line. Jordan Mania this time. As we watch on, Deacon Pace will be popping into view over the finish line on the number 21 for Mandurah City KTM. There he goes. Some beautiful backlit shots there on our 4-Style Media live stream. The last lap board is out. We have exhausted our 20 minutes. And Caden Mania has been the unstoppable force in this equation. Dylan Walsh still circulating in 4th place. It's going to be nigh on impossible for him to get up onto the back of Deacon Pace. But it's not for a lack of trying. Doing it for Aussie Moto Engineering, Gas Perth, Gas Australia, Empire Cycles, Specialised, and of course, his old man. The final stages of the race are upon us. Jordan Mania over the finish line on the 47. And here comes your race leader over the quarry jump. For the final time, huge whip over Mandurah City KTM. And into the final corner. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the number 66, Caden Mania. Two from 2, and nobody could touch him. It was a valiant effort from Dylan Walsh on the 61, Empire Cycles backed Gas. So Dylan Walsh will finish in 4th place. Your top 3, Caden Manier, Jordan Manier and Deacon Pace, all riding for Mandurah City KTM. That was MX3. We will come back to you with the start gate for MX Clubman. They've got a sighting lap to get underway. The coffee van is still open. The bar is doing a roaring trade. And we hope you are enjoying yourself here at the Smarter Than Smoking Senior State Motocross Round. This is round 2. 2 motos left to go. Welcome to everyone that is watching online. Thanks to 4-Star Media. And of course, all of our live stream sponsors, Bayless Electrical Group, Cully's Yamaha, Thomas's Vehicle 3 Finishing, and our series sponsors as well. We'll be back soon with more racing here from AJS.
soon. Second board about to come out by the lovely Brittany. That'll go to 5. Elbows out by the guys. Gets a blocker this time. That's Hannah. 52 places by her. Big race jump back to the race there. Anyway, we'll go pick up that. Looks like it's Lucky as he hits that little left-hander. We'll go with him as they go down the back section of the AJS through that white line. Guys starting to get a little bit down there as they make good way to that back. Now starting to make a little bit of a jump as he makes his way through on that group. Lukey gets a conditions on those boys as they come back into view through that little right-hander down the back section of the track. That's Kai Smith still out front. Hawley's still sitting in for second as the boys go through that little part. We lose them for a few minutes as they into view heading down that back section of the AJS club. Hawley with a blinder out of that corner, gets a couple positions up on those two boys as they go into the back section there. One of the boys on the outside line, that'll put him on the inside line, give them a good run up the quarry jump. Side by side as they head up that back section towards the big quarry jump. Lucy again with a good ride. First two places as they hit that big quarry jump and up towards Cloud 19. They're going to make their way through the top section over 19 to that big right-hander. Hannah Stewart number 52 for third place. He's making her way through that right-hander. Sam Davies follows her through. Jumping down into the quarry now. First place coming over the finish line jump. That's up. He's got the 187 there tucked in back from Kai Smith. Then back to Hannah Stewart on the 50 big bit. Sam Davies with a pretty decent ride. He had a put the rides here up in the AJS up. Got the wholesale on one of the races. Ran out of up towards the end of that one. Stewart right on the back of the pile as they hit that little left-hander. Head coming through the as well. Daniel Hawley just coming into view. Just coming into view now, Hannah Stewart again right on the back of Kai as they come through there. Again, we lose sight of them as they just duck in behind the hill. They'll come back into view in a moment. Good battle going on for fifth, sixth, right of the trial section. Just picking up our race leader. He's gone on the inside line again. That'll put him on the inside with a good run up the back section towards the big quarry jump. Stewart follows him through on that same line. She's still stuck in there for third, doing everything she can to get onto the back of Kai. Just waiting for him to make a little mistake. Meanwhile, race lead just over 19 and up to that big right-hander. He'll jump down in. Going over the line, leading his race. That's Hodge on the 382. After our 187 machine coming through second. Stewart on the 52, just their way through that finish line jump now. Just a bit untidy through that left-hander. That gives Smith a couple bike lengths as Davies makes a bit of a move. Davies looking like he's starting to run out of puff a little. He's sort of tucked in for third. Back to, I think that's track before. Chell, first from Ryan. Monty's in there too. Good battle going on for 7th and 8th as they hit that little left-hander. Davies again has a bit of a look over his shoulder. Left-hander as he hits the big doodle up jump there. Meanwhile, wait for our leaders to come back into view down that back section of the track. And you saw that Stuart Hodge has just comes back into view now. He's got Kai Smith tucked in behind him. Kai doing everything he can to jump onto the back of Hodge. Bit of a gap now to Hannah. Hannah just coming back into view now on the big 52 machine. That's our 992 rider just coming over the finish line jump now. Body language tells me that he's going to go back into the pit as he does. So that's his day done. Hodge now starting to make a bit of a break on the second place rider. He goes inside. Hannah follows him through on that same line again as they make their way up the back section towards the big quarry jump. That's high on the 187, that's with Stewart on the 52. Sam Davies, that's one of the riders too, so that's got hit that one position as Hodge comes over the finish line jump. Jack Bell with a good ride, he's made that hook up on Sam. Ryan Beale with a good ride also, he's in there as is Reece Lowe. Yep, having a great one. Good for also. Didn't see Jeff come through there before, so might be up the back section of the track. Hannah Stewart getting it very untidy as she goes around that little hander. That's the 5-5 front of Jack Self. He's just got in front of Sam. Sam now settling into a nice pace. Meanwhile, we're trying to pick up our leader as they make their way down that back section through that windy path. And that one guy that's just getting their gate check and they're getting toward the final race of the day. Bedford coming through there, he's got Sean Reed just tucked in behind him. Just waiting for our leaders to come back in the view down that back section. That should be Hodge too. With Kai Smith there tucked in behind him. Yellow flag out for one of the guys that's gone down. Looks like he's got the bike back up and running, so great to see him join back in as Hesse comes through, just ahead of Hawley. Jared Boardman there with a good ride also. So Jack Bell with a good ride. He's on the 551. Hodge still out front as they make their way down the back section again. Last lap board coming out for the boys as they make their way over that finish line jump. Hawley with a good ride also. Monkey there coming through on the big green machine. He's trying to get onto the back. Making his way down the back section now. He's gone outside line. A little bit slow for that right-hander as he makes his way up towards the big quarry jump. Looking for our leaders as they come back into view down the back section. That'll be Hodge still out front of Smith. Smith in front of Stewart again. Stewart on the 52, just coming back into view now. Yellow flag waving, so somebody's come down over the back section there. Hesse coming through there on the 420. Back to Hawley on the 332. Had last weekend off, didn't get to ride up here at AJS Club. Tells us that he's suffering a little bit of fitness. So Hodge still out front, and Smith there tucked in behind him. Looking for Stewart as she makes her way through that little left-hander back section of the track. Last lap board out for the boys as they make their way back up the quarry jump. That's our 483 machine. Followed by a 538. Second flag out now. Hodge with the win on the 382. Back to Kai Smith as he goes through that big right-hander. He'll drop down into the quarry for the last time today to take second. Back to Hannah Stewart on the 52.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and to everyone watching online on our 4-Style Media live stream. We have to say a huge thank you to our live stream sponsors, Bayless Electrical Group, Cully's Yamaha, Thomas's Vehicle Refinishing, and of course 4-Style Media themselves for coming on out and putting in the hard yards to bring you all the latest here from round 2 of the Smarter Than Smoking Senior State and Motocross Championship. My name is Jay Mack, and we are about to kick into our final moto for the day, a 20-minute MX1 extravaganza. Big names were out in front last time around. Charlie Creech on the 57 was leading from the front for the vast majority of the race. Coming home in second place, John Darrick on the number 45 from Cully's Yamaha. Put in a fantastic performance, but unfortunately wasn't able to get one up on the 57 rider. Luke Davis featured strongly in the early parts of the moto, but wasn't able to maintain the fitness and the endurance throughout the course of the race. He's had some time off, but over that time, this track has been put through the absolute ringer and is now looking more chopped up and more rutted than ever. This is going to be one to watch, ladies and gentlemen. MX1 proudly brought to you by Pirelli and Moto, class leaders, world leaders in oil and tyres. Let us know if you're tuning in on our 4-Style Media live stream, where you're watching from and who you're rooting for, as we put the top on a fantastic day's racing here at AJS. It's been next to perfect conditions over the course of the day. A huge rider contingent matched only by some incredible spectator numbers. It's great to see you all out here. A massive thank you, of course, to all of our mothers volunteering their time here at AJS on Mother's Day, no less. It has been awesome to have you all along for the ride. A couple of riders opted not to take part in the sighting lap. Notably, the 380 machine of Nathan Higgett staying on the line. Also, I believe the 50 of Ridley didn't come off for a sighting lap either. We are just about ready to put our riders in the hands of the starter. Big shout out to Matt Flynn, supporting Brock Flynn from Victoria. Sam Robbins shouting out on the live stream. Go Michael Zawada. We are in the hands of the starter. 5 seconds. Elbows up. Throttles pinned. Jump start for the 380. Oh, and it is a disaster. But Luke Davis leads us early into turn 1. Toe-to-toe, bar-to-bar with Charlie Creech. And John Darrick in the mix as well. Spot him in the Grey Fly racing gear on the 45. Side by side with Charlie Creech as they hit the tabletop. Luke Davis out to an early lead. Darrick grabs P2. Creech relegated to 3rd place. Declan O'Leary chiming in on the live stream. Go Coach Amp. Great to see a bit of support chiming in. So, your order sees an uncharacteristically out of place Charlie Creech rocking in P3. However, this is a 20-minute moto, ladies and gentlemen, and there is nothing but time ahead of these front 3 riders as they put together the ride of their life here at AJS. Tough conditions and a rough track await. The sun also a factor now at several points in this track, actually shining directly in their eyes. It's going to play havoc with their depth perception. We watch on as John Darrick, or rather Luke Davis on your screens, leads out this battle for the Moto Pirelli MX1 division. Rear end of the bike bucking around. John Darrick holding down second place. Charlie Creech in third. Then back to the 260. That's Brock Flynn. So 4 bikes, evenly spaced at the front of the pack. Then a decent gap. Sky high over the quarry jump, and Luke Davis excelling at his aerial acrobatics. Through the final corner for the first time, the 14 MX Developments rider punches this Yamaha through for a quick lap. From a standing start, we see Luke Davis rattle off a 2:06.38. John Darrick a 2:09. And then it's a 0.7 of a second gap to Charlie Creech on the 57. Our top 3 starting to leave Brock Flynn behind. Massive battle happening here with the number 50. Austin Ridley and Stephen Pocock fighting it out. Ridley holding down in P5. A great battle there, and it looks like someone got the block pass move put on them there in turn 2. But we watch on with our race leaders. Luke Davis holds out John Darrick. Rob Dack on the live stream, chiming some support for Charlie Creech. Problems for the number 79. Cody Heggs, unfortunately, not having a great day. Darrick now within striking distance on Luke Davis. The track doubles back on itself. Charlie Creech hasn't lost touch with these front 2, but finds himself at least on track position, neck and neck with John Darrick. Darrick has a bit of an awkward exit there out of that S section. Creechy has some good drive, looks to make the pass as they hit the quarry jump. It should happen in midair. Who's got the pace around these consecutive right-handers? Darrick has track position. Gets that Yamaha muscled over onto the high line. Creechy does the crisscross and gets punched out to the inside. Darrick was the immovable object in that equation. Luke Davis says, fine, you guys have at it behind me. Chew up some time, waste some energy. That's fine by me. Brock Flynn is your quickest lapper out there. 2 minutes 4 second lap time. Some 2.2 seconds quicker than John Darrick and Charlie Creech, both chiming in with 2:06s. Luke Davis a 2:07.44. We watch on as Luke Davis leads out this quartet of riders. Darrick in second, Creech in third, and Brock Flynn ready to pick up any crumbs that any of these guys might drop. The slightest mistake and Flynn will be right there. Off the sweeper they come. We watch on as they enter the trials section. Charlie Creech challenging John Darrick on the 45. He's now jumped up into second place. Darrick fights back. He's on the fast outside line. Has he got the drive to get in front of the 57? Yamaha versus Husqvarna. Toe to toe, bar to bar. Creechy goes wide and fast. It's a drag race to the quarry. These guys need to stamp their authority over this battle pack if they intend to run at the front for this 20-minute moto. 14 minutes remain. On paper, we see Davis in front. Creechy now in P2. John Darrick sends the 45 over the quarry jump. Brock Flynn now has an eyeful and looks to make a move. He's closed up the gap. He's up the inside. Has he got the drive into the pit? Not quite. Davis riding conservatively. Cracks out a 2 minute 7 lap time. Charlie Creech a 2:06.54. John Darrick a 2:08.35 and Brock Flynn a 2:07. Flynn needs to muster up the move on Darrick. He had a couple of opportunities there in that final corner. Darrick up next to Creech on the 57. Again, they're bar to bar into the left-hander and Darrick has track position. Changes ruts, moves to the outside, blocks off any attack that Creechy can make. And this has got the makings of a battle. Darrick finding a little bit of time on Luke Davis. The 14 MX rider is twisting that throttle off the stop on that Yamaha. Disappearing out of view, but we watch on our 4Style Media live stream. Creechy still in touch with Darrick. You know Charlie has pace. Oh, Creechy's dropped the 57. He's managed to lose one position. Can he stem the flow? Darrick breathes a sigh of relief. As long as Brock Flynn doesn't get too close, he should be fine, but they're coming up on lappers now. Luke Davis heads towards the quarry jump with one rider in front of him. Makes the move in midair. Darrick, a little bit of awkward positioning there as he had to be mindful of that lapper in front of him. Ducks up the inside. So Brock Flynn has now been elevated up into third place with Charlie Creech rounding out your top four in this Pirelli Moto MX1 final moto for the day. Luke Davis now has an opportunity to put a slower rider between himself and John Darrick. Use your surroundings to your advantage. The 320 machine gets out of the way. Takes a wide line. That was Dylan Thomas. We'd like to thank his wife on his sponsor sheet. Fast Mover award goes to John Darrick there for that lap, 2:07.20. That was the quickest lapper that time around. Trying to spot a number. I did see a down rider. And we have dispatched the medical crew as we watch on as Luke Davis continues doing it for Mandurah City Yamaha, FT Moto Works, Maxima, Pro Pleat, 67, and of course, 14 MX Development. The sun blinding as they make their way off the trial section of the track. Here is your race leader. The gap between first and second was 1.7 seconds last time they came through the finish line. It's all come down to this. That yellow flag has really launched John Darrick up onto the back of Luke Davis. The gap absolutely tiny. It's Yamaha on Yamaha, blue on blue. Luke Davis over the quarry jump, and the gap's opened up slightly for John Darrick. Brock Flynn starting to fade away. The gap between first and second was 1.7 last time around. Luke Davis admits that sand is not his strong point, but at the moment he's making it look easy. As they cross the line, the gap's dropped 1.15 seconds from P1 to P2. Flynn still owns the quickest lap of the race at 2:04.699. Charlie Creech ratchets off a 2:11, occupying the 4th spot, riding pretty much on his own. He's got quite the gap ahead, just under 10 seconds. Starting to see more and more yellow flags popping out this incredibly rough track He's throwing a few curveballs. Luke Davis holding on, but only by a hair's breadth. Off the sweeper they come. And I think I saw the move. Yes, I did. John Darrick currently leads out your Moto Pirelli MX1 final moto. Luke Davis back in P2. The sun shines in their eyes as they round off the trial section of the course. Fire themselves through the left-hander. Waved yellow flags await them. So that will stem the loss as Luke Davis can try and get up onto the back. Takes the inside line. That's going to put him on the left-hand side of the track as they hit the quarry jump, and there's 4 slower riders ahead of them. This could either play havoc with John Darrick's plans for advancement, or it could well and truly be a massive help, and it's helped already. Davis shakes his head as he lands off the quarry jump. As he checks himself, he only went about half distance off that quarry jump that time around, but has managed to retain sight of the 45 Yamaha from Cullies. Darrick looks good across the finish line. More lap traffic, and it's right in front of Luke. Davis drops the hammer over the tabletop. Brock Flynn also in the mix now as well. 1.1 seconds back from Luke Davis, who in turn is 1.7 back from Johnny D. Here they come. They hit the tabletop together. And Davis under fire from Brock Flynn on the 260 Husqvarna. Flynn's been running other classes today, so this is a massive test of his fitness and endurance. Davis gets around the lapper, tries to regain contact with John Darrick. Brock Flynn is well and truly causing a fuss there in third place. Chris Davies shouting out on the live stream, "Let's go Charlie Bear." We watch on Luke Davis fighting to get back onto the rear of Johnny D. John Darrick on the 45. And Darrick just all class. We have 5.5 minutes left on the counter. Right behind each other now as they hit the quarry jump. Only a few more laps in it. Sun full in their eyes. The face of the jump will be pitch black. Luke Davis takes a midline through that final corner. It fires him off to the inside of the pit. Charlie Creech seems to have faded back, now currently 8.4 seconds behind Brock Flynn, who in turn is 2.039 off the rear of Luke Davis. Stuart Anderson, keep pushing, Prongy. Referencing the 14 MX development rider, Luke Davis. Davis having to dig into wells of energy that he didn't know he had. 4 minutes left. And John Darrick, this has been an amazing performance for the Cullies Yamaha rider. Wildly talented. Let's watch on. And John Darrick busting out a very tidy 206.37 last time they came around. More traffic in the mix here. And here he is, your race leader. Now, Luke Davis managed to put a move down while our cameras were off. Derek back into second place. We saw these two tussling in Manjimup. It was less of a tussle, more of an all-out brawl in the first moto of round one. This is a repeat offence. Davis through to the final corner. Just under 3 minutes left on the clock. At 2021, YZF 450 is pushing Davis to an incredible race. Checking in with Daniel Strickland, his first time back on track after 8 years. He's holding down the 10 spot, battling it out in amongst Mario Durkol and Christian Silvestro. Looking back beyond our top three, we see in fourth place Charlie Creech, fifth is Austin Ridley, sixth Anthony Drysdale, seventh Stephen Pocock, eighth Michael Zawada, ninth Mario Durkal, and 10th Daniel Strickland. Luke Davis coming off the trial section into the left-hander. And up the hill. Hitting the base of the quarry jump one more time. We have 55 seconds left. And Luke Davis is going to push them to 2 more laps. Up out of the pit he rises. Davis just floats that YZF 450 beautifully through the air over the finish line. And he's well and truly opened up a gap on John Darrick. 4.14 seconds, the difference. What a ride from a guy who thinks sand is not his friend. This has been a masterclass of endurance. Into the shade now. Brief look across the corner. Oh, Luke Davis goes down. Trying to catch him. And looking to see. My goodness. That has well and truly closed things up. Coming up on a down rider. And Johnny D grabs the position as Davis has stopped on track. Luke Davis came to a halt. Now almost a 4-second gap from Davis back to, or rather John Darrick back to Luke Davis. My apologies. And Darrick is now your race leader. A lap and a half remain. And this is a tall, tall order. What was that, Luke? Our camera is catching him across the infield of that corner. In any case, the race continues. Charlie Creech getting up over Brock Flynn. He's now back into third place. Your race leader onto the final lap, John Darrick. Charlie Creech now has to pull out a massive lap if he wants to get up over Luke Davis. The gap between Davis and Creech was down to 4.7 seconds. Darrick holds a safe 6.5 gap back to Luke Davis. Makes his way down towards the sweeper. Gets that Cully's Yamaha working incredibly well. The sand has taken it out of absolutely everybody. And it comes down to this, the final lap. Darrick off the trial section. Luke Davis on your screen now, coming in towards the S section. You can see he has managed to close down that gap to John Darrick. Darrick needs to be clean. He needs to be cool and collected as they hit that quarry jump. One more time. Davis is on the charge. Up the inside, he looked like he was going to make a move. Holds down that inside line, comes across in front of Darrick. This is going to happen on the finish line. Who's got it? It's going to be Davis. He shouts and waves as he takes the win here in the final moto for the Pirelli Moto MX1 division. Put your hands together. An incredible ride, not just from our race winner, but also John Darrick. Charlie Creech pulls over with him. He came home in third place. An amazing, intense finish for your round two of the Smarter Than Smoking Senior State Motocross Championship. It has been an absolutely incredible day of racing here at AJS. Quick lap time of the race belongs to Brock Flynn with a 2:04.699. Luke Davis, his best lap time was a 2:06.98, bringing him home in first place. His last lap was an absolute blinder at 2:07.18, all coming down to a move on the final corner. Brock Flynn will finish in fourth with Anthony Drysdale in fifth place. Well, as riders finish their final lap out here on this AJS course, everybody from WAMX and the AJS Club would like to say a warm thank you and congratulations to all of our winners. Without our volunteers and our officials, we would not be able to run these events. So once again, a huge thank you to everybody that has come on board. Of course, our live stream sponsors, without you, we wouldn't have been able to make this show happen. Huge thank you to the Bayless Electrical Group, Cully's Yamaha, Thomas's Vehicle Refinishes, and of course, 4Style Media. Also, while we're at it, a massive, massive thank you to our series sponsors, Brudum Logistics, Moto, Pirelli, Cully's Yamaha, Husqvarna Australia, KTM, Gas, Healthway, West FX, Munster, ProPlete Seat Covers, Diamond Designs, Boxline Industries, NextM, And from everybody at MWA, thank you so much for coming. We will have our trophy presentations very soon in front of the bar, I believe. But in the meantime, if all racers could please return their transponders, we'll catch you soon for the next round of the Smarter Than Smoking Senior State Motocross Championship. My name's J-Mac. Good afternoon. We'll see you next time.